He didn't miss that one. That was timed perfectly. That'll end up on the grass and go past the grass.
So if you're a newer fan of baseball, or maybe you just simply don't have enough time to keep up with the top prospects, that right there was the brand new #1 overall prospect in all of Major League Baseball, Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals. And just by the sound off the bat, you know this kid is the real deal, and baseball is in great hands. Wander Franco, he got called up. He was amazing last year. Adley Rutschman, you have Bobby Witt Jr. probably going to be on the opening day rosters after a rule change that came out yesterday. There's also a brand new Shohei Ohtani rule. Yes, it is not called that, but it's because of what Shohei did in 2021. So make sure you guys watch all the way until the end. We have a lot to talk about. If this is your first time on the channel, we do this every single day, so don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And if you're going to any spring training games or regular season games, make sure that you use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire purchase. Now, before we talk about the brand new rules, as well as Carlos Correa talking about why he chose the Twins, and then Fernando Tatis Jr. completely scrubbed his Instagram. It's not a huge deal in my opinion, but we are going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and put a bow on the Freddie Freeman situation with the Braves, because Chipper Jones spoke on this as an insider because he was in talks with both the Braves and Freddie Freeman. He said that Freddie wanted to go back to Atlanta, but the way that Freddie and his team, talking about Freddie's team, not the Braves, handled the situation, it was never going to be done, and that Freddie basically botched the situation. Apparently, the Braves gave him an offer, and then Freddie Freeman said, no, I don't like that. Here's two other offers. One was a 5-year deal, I believe, at $20 or $33 million, and one was a 6-year deal at $29 million, and the Braves said, no, we're going to trade for Matt Olson. All right, let's go ahead and break down the brand new rules coming to Major League Baseball in 2022, and I know for a fact one of them is going to spark a lot of controversy in the comment section down below. So first and foremost, they will have expanded rosters for the first month of the season, and that's because spring training was shortened and there's not a lot of time to get ready, so they're going to have extra players available for the first month. It will be ending May 1st, so there is no excuse for the Phillies not to have Bryson Stott on the roster, or for the Royals to not have Bobby Witt Jr., and the same for the Orioles and Adley Rutschman. You call up these young guys, you have enough room to do so. Moving on over to the second rule, the ghost runner. I'll put that in quotations because people aren't calling it the ghost runner, even though in extra innings, the runner literally appears out of nowhere, and that's why it's called the ghost runner. So everyone hated that. Well, I shouldn't say everyone, because this rule did in fact work. If we go back the last 2 years, a game did not go past the 13th or the 14th inning one single time. So it's not real baseball to a lot of people, but the rule did work, and apparently players want this back because it saves time and no one wants to be on the field for 7 hours because the game is now in the 19th inning. So let me know what you think of the ghost runner coming back to Major League Baseball. And then the Ohtani rule. If you don't remember, there was a start against the Yankees where Shohei Ohtani was both the starting pitcher and the designated hitter. Well, he got shelled by the Yankees, so he had to come out after the first or second inning. And then Shohei Ohtani could no longer be the DH, because the rule was if you were a starting pitcher and the DH, as soon as you were no longer the starting pitcher, you had to go play a different position. Now, in 2022, Shohei, if he gets shelled by the A's, he can stay as the DH, even if he pitches 0.1 innings. Let's go ahead and move on to a few shortstops before we talk about Lucas Giolito not being happy with the White Sox. Carlos Correa, he talked about why he went to the Minnesota Twins and why he is signing a short-term deal, even though he says he wants to be there long-term, but his deal has 2 opt-outs. So, I don't know, what do you make of this clip?
To me, with the Twins offer, it was something that I really wanted to do, a place I wanted to go. And it felt right. So we made the decision, and like I told Rocco and I told Derek, we're not seeing this like a one-year thing. We're seeing this as I want to build a championship culture in this organization. I want to show you guys what I can do and what I can bring to the table so we can, have a long-term relationship at some point.
In my personal opinion, I feel like Carlos Correa, yes, he is being genuine in what he is saying. He wants to build a championship culture in Minnesota. I just don't know if he believes in his heart that he's going to be around long enough to see them win a championship. So let me know what you guys think. And then Fernando Tatis, again, to me, this is not a huge deal, but he scrubbed his IG and he left a single picture of himself when he was a kid. So everything Padres, everything of him hiking has been removed. And to me, I took this as a message as I'm still a kid and I'm going to make mistakes, but I promise you guys I'm going to be better. I'm no longer going to ride a motorcycle. I don't think that he's done with the Padres. Maybe this is a simple spring cleaning that he wants to restart his Instagram. We all have those moments. I mean, sometimes you just want a fresh start. And then last but not least, before we talk about the spring training highlights from the last few days, Lucas Giolito and the White Sox are going to arbitration over $50,000. So a lot of people are saying, cry, millionaire, cry, but now they're defending the billionaires who are not trying to give their starting pitcher 50 grand. So I just don't understand the whole defend the billionaires and the owners argument. This is completely petty. Give Lucas Giolito his extra 50 grand. He earned it. All right, let's deep dive into these spring training highlights. Now, speaking of dives, look at Bo Bichette. He definitely has been working on his defense over the offseason because that has been his biggest bugaboo. A lot of people have said Bo Bichette is going to rake. He's going to be a 2020 guy for the next 2 decades, but his defense is not the best. So we can see, hopefully, the work is paying off. Nolan Arenado, one of the more underrated players in baseball now, at least to me, because MLB Network ranked him as the 8th best third baseman. In what world is Nolan Arenado the 8th best? A lot of people are saying he's overrated outside of Coors, maybe, but he is not the 8th best third baseman. He is still top 5, top 3 in my opinion. Freddie Freeman and Kris Bryant, they both collected their first base hits as a member of their new teams. There was Freddie on the Dodgers, and here's Kris Bryant. I believe he was going back up the middle for his first base hit as a member of the Rockies. And also, this just came to my head. This has nothing to do with spring training, but speaking of the Rockies, they just signed Ryan McMahon to an extension. So, hey, the Rockies, even though they've had piss poor management over the last, I should say, asset management in terms of giving away Arenado with $50 million cash and losing Trevor Story for nothing, they've signed Kris Bryant and they gave a pretty solid extension to Ryan McMahon. So if you can build around those pieces, good job, Rockies. And the last but not least, before we show Joe Adell's 585-foot home run, okay, it wasn't that long, but look at Jacob deGrom. In 2 innings, in his first spring training start, he had 5 strikeouts, so 5 of these 6 outs came via the K. This guy is going to set records if he can pitch anywhere from 30 to 35 starts. But thank you all so much for watching. That is going to do it. I hope that you did enjoy. Remember to save yourself some money on SeatGeek if you're going to any baseball games. Use code Fuzzy for 20 bucks off. Now, let's go ahead and watch Joe Adell rip the cover off this baseball. I don't think it's landed yet, and it's been a full 24 hours.
I'm back.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Joe Adell, center field, back-to-back jacks. That one is gone. You see him look that thing down?
And it's impressive because coming off of his last